Hey everyone, this morning's reflection comes from Mark's 9th chapter. Jesus and James and Peter and John, having just come down from the Mount of the Transfiguration, find the disciples and the scribes in an argument, in a crowd around them. As Jesus approaches them and asks what's going on, there's a man who comes forward and says, "My son has a demon that makes him mute and deaf, and he's had it since childhood, and it causes him to throw himself into the fire or into the lake and try to kill himself." And that he also goes on to say that he asked the disciples to cast that demon out, and they couldn't do it. So Jesus takes the boy, casts the demon that makes the boy mute and deaf, and the boy falls to the ground like a corpse, and Jesus lifts him up. Now, there's a lot going on in today's passage, and I don't want to look at so much the literal part of it or the word for word, but there's a tremendous amount of depth in there allegorically, or something that points to an eternal truth. So the boy, being possessed with a spirit that makes him mute and deaf, is very interesting. So if you look at the mechanics of this, there's a child, someone who is before the age of reason, someone who has had this demon since early childhood that made him mute and made him deaf. Someone, and also that tried to destroy the child. Jesus casts the demon out. He's no longer mute and deaf. And then the disciples are like, "Why couldn't we cast this demon out?" And Jesus says that kind can only be done through prayer. And that's a very powerful set of events, or a very powerful story. I love that story. In modern day psychology and medicine and studies in longevity and studies in happiness, secular studies, there are four pillars, or four sort of posts, foundations, if you will, for life. There's sleep, so we have to get a proper amount of deep sleep, of REM sleep. There's nutrition, or diet. We have to eat a proper balanced nutrition, and if we eat poorly too long, we start having metabolic syndrome and other things that are caused by all the processed foods, and so that's the second pillar that's espoused. The other is exercise. We have to exercise our body. We have to keep everything working right and healthy and strong. And the fourth is meditation. Meditation, or you see a lot of mindfulness practices where you have to reflect back on your day. You have to understand and overcome your emotions. You have to learn how to process your emotions. You have to learn how to deal with things, and so that comes from self-reflection. But today's story, Jesus does not say, well, you need to do the four pillars of life. He cast out the demon that makes him deaf and mute. So I want us to think about that. If a person is deaf and they are mute, what does that say about them? To me, what I hear in that is to speak and to hear is how we communicate, how we learn, how we understand. We can still learn through sight, sight and touch and some of our other senses, but that's how we acquire wisdom. It's how we learn what's right and wrong, what's good and beautiful and what's not. Speaking and hearing, communicating. And the boy did not have the ability to do that. So I think that's says a lot more than just the young boy being possessed with that particular demon. But the demon also tried to destroy his body. It was doing everything in its power to destroy that child. In fact, it's very telling, like when Jesus casts the demon out, the boy falls to the ground like a corpse. And Jesus raises him up. Jesus raises the boy up. That's on purpose. That is in there in the Bible in that way. He raises him up on purpose. Through interceding to God the Father, through the power of Jesus Christ, the boy now can understand wisdom. And he's lifted up. So we have to have diet, exercise, sleep, nutrition, reflection. But we have to have prayer. Prayer unites us to God through Jesus Christ. Prayer and prayer only grants us wisdom about what is beautiful in the world, about what is good in the world, about what is true in the world, about how to live life and be happy. So, if you are overwhelmed, if you're anxious, if you're fearful, all those things, the only way to grant and to attain an eternal wisdom and to overcome those fears and to have peace and to have joy, to have hope, is prayer. When we pray, our faith is strengthened. When we pray, virtues are strengthened. When we pray, we attain wisdom. When we rise up, when we can use our ears, when we can hear, when we can speak, when we can communicate with God, wisdom comes. And from that wisdom, we have life. And from that wisdom, we have happiness. So today, think about your life of prayer. The 4 things I talked about earlier, those are human things, like the disciples trying to cast them out through their own power, thinking that they had the power within them to cast this evil demon out of the boy. But our power comes through Jesus Christ. Wisdom comes through Jesus Christ. And if our life of prayer is lacking, if our life of prayer is not what it should be, then we become like the boy is deaf and mute. We become like the boy in that we lose and distance ourselves from wisdom. We're like the boy in that we get thrown into the fire, into the water. Evil seeks to destroy us. This kind can only be cast out through prayer. Spend some time working on your life in prayer. Spend some time thinking through this morning's reading, because it's much more than a story of Jesus casting out a demon from a young child. It's a very important story about life well lived. We can't do it on our own. We have to have prayer. We have to have that connection with God and Jesus Christ. We have to have that to have wisdom. We have to have that to have life. Happy Saturday, everyone. God bless you all.